Unless they remake Kill la Kill.
Don't remake it. Make a season 2 where the mother life fiber finally goes to Earth, but has integrated with a little bit of remnant of Senketsu. So now we get evil Senketsu.
Produced by Studio D.
No. Worked on by the same team who brought you the horror masterpiece Junji Ito Horror Collection. Someone wants us to do that for Halloween. I'm like, have you seen the show? No, but isn't it a horror show? Yeah, don't. You wouldn't be saying that if you actually saw the show.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
I was like...
I mean, it would have been fine, but...
The animation got worse.
Well, mainly because Studio Dean.
Yeah. And it doesn't help that the first episode, they picked, like, the worst story to start off with.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, it's funny... But you guys are trying to establish this as a horror series, and you pick Junji Ito intentionally making a comedy. Like, this isn't him, like, it's scary, but it's accidentally funny and bad. No, this guy used to make comedy manga before he went directly into horror.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
He is, I think...
There was no humor I read from him so far.
Yeah. Well, not unless you saw, the one with the weird voodoo kid, but that one was a comedy. Yeah. Shit, there's even one where he kidnaps his teachers and turns them into giant Muppets.
Subarashi.
Yeah. But that one actually got kind of scary because one of the puppets was full on crazy and tried to, like, burn a kid alive because they burnt her.
Oh, God.
But still, the whole joke of that episode was, I'm doing this to you because you pulled down my pants by accident.
That's the only reason?
That's the only reason he did it. Yeah. Anyway, guys, welcome back to a brand new episode of Busted Mustard Productions Anime-zing, the show that almost died because I did not want to throw in the money for more equipment. Just so you guys can figure out what happened while I was unable to do anything. I still wanted to upload some stuff, but I wasn't able to. It was due to the fact that my work accidentally destroyed my old equipment, thus making it nearly impossible for me to do anything about it. So we're here basically redoing the show, and not redoing the show, but coming back to you with better equipment and pretty much the same mech as before. So that's good.
I heard Mecha.
Not mech. Anyway,
I heard Mecha.
Anyway, I'm Danny, and once again I am joined by
Big Ben and... Oh, he's not here.
No, he's not. Lewis is a university boy now, and it's funny because he came here and he looked all clean shaven and like baby face.
Yeah.
And he's like, I thought I was going to get older, but university is changing me. And I'm like, no, just give it a few more weeks. You should have seen what it did to my older brother. That university fucked him up.
Oh, God.
But now he's the most successful out of the 3 sons, so it's fine. Even though now we're taking care of his fucking dog. And I love her, but she's kind of an idiot. But yeah, he's gone for now. There will be a weird format going to these shows where me and Ben you're basically going to get A and B's to these episodes. You're going to get the A's because they typically come first, where me and Ben sit down and we talk about the anime. Then a few days later, you will get the B, which is me and Lewis sitting down and talking about the same anime because he still wants to be a part of the show. It's just...
Wait, so couldn't we just do this a 2-part then?
Do you want to do the 2 parts? So
I mean, you might as well. I mean, I only re-caught up to, like, practically the first half.
Sure.
You could do that, and the other half you can deal with Lewis.
Yeah, because we could still talk about... We could go up to, what, like the Hinoji battle? The Academy Wars? I think that's where we should stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I do want to talk about, like, our favorite character.
Oh, I like him so much.
He's so good.
It's a shame that he only shows up for that scene, that's it.
Actually, he shows up later.
See, I forgot.
He works for Nudist Beach, and he has, like, a really funny moment, too, where basically he's just like, yeah, go kick their asses, yeah, come on. And then suddenly his voice gets really deep and they draw him super dramatic and he's like, Godspeed. And I'm like, yep, there was Ben's serious voice. Yes, but yeah, we will do a part 2. We might not do that for all of the series, and this is kind of a special case because Ben couldn't finish the last 5 episodes. Even though some will argue that the show went downhill, which I'm just like, fuck you guys, I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I can't see the show going downhill.
No.
It was just pure excitement one after another.
Yeah, and plus, unlike another show that I will be jokingly bashing on as this review goes on, at least this series kept its writer. Ooh, Gurren Lagann.
I knew it. So you do hate Gurren Lagann.
Fuck that show. No, I'm joking. Don't kill me, people. Anyway, let's talk about Studio Trigger's first anime adaptation. First anime anything. And
This was an anime original, huh?
yes. And once again, the collaborator I will get the names later, but the collaborators of Kill la Kill joining in once again to bring us Kill la Kill. And please don't be too loud. That is a little too loud.
That wasn't loud.
As opposed to when I was going to play the first opening and it's just like...
Oh, yeah. And you wanted to put the first opening.
I like the first opening
I
one.
skipped the first opening.
How dare you?
Like, I like it, but I would skip it.
I need to be careful. He got me all paranoid with this damn lunchbox.
And
Oops. Sorry about that.
And that's only if Nessa shows up.
Yeah. Spoilers!
What do you mean? They're just regalias they've used.
You know what's weird? Is they show all of their Vangelias except for Sanagayama, the guy with the bamboo sword. They only went up to his academy uniform.
Come on, how was that separate?
I know it is. But the other one is pretty cool too.
Nah.
How dare you? I'll play it, no, I don't want to play that while we're closing.
Oh, yeah, now I got a good listen of... I forgot the mom's name.
Vagio?
Yeah, now I heard her open her song. I like her song now.
Dude, that song is so... He's the one with, like, the best, he's the one with, like, the best theme song.
I
in
know.
here. And then they have, like, 2 versions. They have one that's, like, acoustic, and then they have, like, the actual big one. So, anyway, Kill la Kill is a 2013 anime series, and I forgot to pull up the names, Jesus Christ. Created by at the time, the newly formed Studio Trigger, who just broke away from Gainax because they realized that Gainax will never make another anime of worth anything again. And it's funny because the shows that Gainax is the most popular for was because of ex-Trigger employees, the Trigger employees who left the company. Like, the entire creative team of Gurren Lagann left to make, of Gurren Lagann and Evangelion, left so they can go and work on Trigger. Yeah, that is why when the guys who created Gurren Lagann were like, oh, yo, we want to create another anime again, that's why it was Trigger that picked them up and not Gainax. Mainly because Gainax isn't making shit anymore.
Didn't the business went down?
It's going down right now because they're getting sued by the company who's producing the Evangelion movies. And Trigger kind of snuffed them out of a contract, so they're getting sued right now. Don't fuck with them. Yeah, so Kill la Kill is a 2013 series directed by Hiroyuki Imaishi and Kazuki Nakashima, who previously collaborated 7 years ago, am I right?
7 years? Oh, wait, we're talking about 2013, right?
2013,
Isn't it
2006?
2013, 2006, yeah.
Yeah, who previously collaborated to give us what many consider one of the best mecha out there, Gurren Lagann, which, just like Kill la Kill, has a very generic standard story, but they add in a little element that just drives everything off the wall. Because when you really get down to it, Kill la Kill's a magical girl anime where it's a girl trying to stop a hierarchy from releasing an evil onto the world, while Kill la Kill is a bunch of mechas trying to take down an evil emperor.
Kill la Kill.
Sorry. While Gurren Lagann is about robots that are powered by testosterone that have to go defeat an evil emperor. And then you get to the last 12 episodes, and then it just gets nuts from there. And same thing with Kill la Kill. Once you get those last 5 episodes, things just get insane from there.
Yeah, you would expect just a pure battle with just the Elite Four and
Satsuki.
yeah, but no, you get the mom involved. You get all these aliens.
Yeah, the covers. You get one of the creepiest little Lolitas
Creepy.
ever.
Creepy. How dare you?
Yui is fucking terrifying.
Hell no. Have you seen her poses when she tries to dodge?
Yeah, they're funny. How they're not even like properly animated. There's that one where they like punch on the ground.
Oh yeah.
I hope he can't hear us. Some dude is looking at us right now. I don't know. Maybe he just saw. Do not close the blinds. Why not? But yeah, like
I mean, we can do illicit stuff in here, boys.
you can get high while doing the show.
Oh, that's what you think of? Porn, boy.
I'm connected to the Wi-Fi. They'll check it. What was I saying? Yeah, there's that part where she's fighting the Elite Four, and she just like flips in the air, but you can tell it's just a still image of her being flipped. But yeah, so this tells the story. Also, first of all, this is my second anime ever. Like second anime I watched knowing it was an anime. Like
Really?
after I saw Attack on Titan, I stopped, and then my friend's like, "Hey, watch this," and then I saw it, and I'm like, "Oh shit, this is awesome."
This was a bit too advanced, though. What the hell?
Huh?
This was a bit too advanced for a second. shoot.
Right? That's
how do
how
you, how do you went from Titan eating monsters?
yeah, basically giant zombies to like the very pinnacle of everything people believe is wrong with anime. But here's the thing. I'm a fan of parody. I love parody. I think parody is awesome. Kill la Kill's a parody, and people keep forgetting that.
Wouldn't it be a gag? Is that what you're saying?
Hmm?
A gag?
Gag parody. It's a technically a joke on like the magical girl and the magical girl genre and fan service in anime. That's
Well,
it.
then, yeah, it's just a parody.
Yeah, but it's able to do the thing that One Punch Man and another show, I forget what that other show is, but it does the thing that One Punch Man is able to do, where not only is it a really funny satire on anime, on shonen anime, it's also still a really good shonen anime. Well, manga. I like the manga a little bit more. I lost you. Yes? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's funny that One Punch Man came out and was like the parody on the shonen genre, and then now a lot of people think One Punch Man's a parody of My Hero, even though One Punch Man predates My Hero like way before.
Yeah, especially with the original manga.
Yeah, well, that's only because people, they see superheroes in anime and they don't know, so they're probably just like, oh yeah, it's a parody on My Hero. It's like, it's not a parody on My Hero.
So what you're saying is, if they see a superhero, it's a parody of some other show that's similar to that.
Well, if they see, basically, they saw that One Punch Man is a parody with superheroes who are very, like, egotistic and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you see, you see My Hero, which also focuses on superheroes, that one of the main problems is that some of them are very egotistic. That's one of the main reasons why the villains hate them, because they're like the self-righteous people who act like they're goody two-shoes, but they're doing it for the fame. Half of them are doing it for the fame.
Yeah. That's where you had the fame quote, like those, like the famous battle with Stain.
Yeah. You might want to come in a little bit more. I don't think it's picking it up.
All right.
Anyway, let's do this. So, Kill la Kill focuses on... I was almost going to say Sasuke Kiryu, and Kill la Kill focuses on...
Hey, who knows? Maybe the original was supposed to be Satsuki to be the main girl.
No, Satsuki looks too much like a villain.
I don't know. When you see her fighting against Ryuko when she goes berserk,
Yeah.
kind of thinks of her as a main character for a second there.
Yeah. No, but also she, except for certain parts, she looks really plain. And I can imagine someone like Ryuko being a main character because she has a very unique look to her. Like when
Makum looks more like the main character.
She's
She's way unique.
She is. She's another one. That's the thing that kind of disturbed me about the show is like as the show goes on, you realize that Nui is supposed to be evil Mako because of how cartoony and exaggerated the movements are.
Yeah.
How they're not even animated like half of the time. But yeah, Ryuko Matoi, who is a girl who's been going to different academies and starting fights with kids, and she makes
specifically on the
that were owned by the Kiryuin family.
Yeah.
And she finally makes her way to Hanoji Academy, the most prestigious school of all the land.
Can I just say like how they started off the show?
Yeah, go ahead.
You start off a show in a classroom, taking like roll calls and all. Boom! A door breaks in, and you see Gamagori come out looking all humongous.
Yeah, you just see this big fucking guy in a school uniform and being voiced in both of the versions because these are supposed to be high schoolers. They keep reminding you these are high schoolers, voiced by a full-grown man.
Well, to be fair, he is in his 20s.
True, 20.
Yeah, 20.
Which means you graduate by 18. You graduate high school by 18?
Some 18, some 17 if they were born late.
I was 18 because I was born late and held back.
Yeah, but you were held back.
Yeah.
I graduated when I was 17.
Yeah, and a good portion of my friends graduated when they were 17 too.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm barely drinking with some of them because I've been 21 for a while already.
I don't know. I've been 21 for like almost a year and I haven't drank. I just can't stand alcohol.
Yeah, like me. I can't stand it either, so I don't drink a lot.
Unless it's margaritas.
Yeah, because you can barely taste it.
Yeah. Or anything that has like less alcohol in there.
Yeah.
I think of the lemonade.
Mike's Hard Lemonade?
Yeah.
I wanted to drink that when I was at Buffalo Wild Wings the other day, but I'm like, fuck, I have work. I can't go drunk. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so this fucking big-ass guy just comes into the classroom and he's like, hey, I need to talk to one of your students. One of them stole a one-star Goku uniform.
One-star Goku uniform.
Yeah. And we need it back. And suddenly a kid's like, okay, sure. But then he runs out the classroom before the thing just stopped. I think I might know the problem. I'll deal with that if it does it again. The thing that like really that cracks me up is they do this really dynamic shot of him running down the stairs, but then you just see like Gamagoi flung himself out the window and laughing. and you just see like him flying to the ground, and after every turn of the window, you just hear ha ha ha. But the kid is told to put the uniform on. He feels the power. First of all, this is like a schlubby little, plump kid, and then he puts it on, and suddenly he's all slender and fit, and he tries to fight Gamagoi, but Gamagoi's like, dude, that's a 1-star uniform. I'm a 3-star uniform. And like whips all.
You'd expect the no-star students to know about that by now.
Yeah, Mako knew everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mako was like. Mako was the one that explained everything to Ryuko and the audience as the show would later go on. And it's just like, how did you not know that? You didn't think that the Goku uniforms would have worked like rock, paper, scissors?
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I kind of will go into, the Kamuis in a little bit, but that's why I thought it was so appropriate that Satsuki was wearing was not wearing like a 4-star uniform or a 5-star uniform because mainly they couldn't make those without killing the wearer. But
they try to make a 5-star uniform.
They try to make a 5-star and it turned
why would they skip a 4-star? A 4-star seems more plausible.
Because I think at 40% it would be okay, but the 5-star would be at 50%. So at least that would somewhat guarantee they'd be able to go up against the Kamuis.
This is like Gacha all over again.
Yep. So that's why I thought it was really appropriate that instead of them making another Goku uniform for her, she just flat out is like, my dad made me a Kamui when I was a baby, and I'm going to use that because I'm a badass.
But that's a wedding dress.
Wedding dress. Yeah. I like how one person's like, it's your wedding dress because you're giving yourself to the life fibers, and the other one's like, it's a wedding dress because you're going to do something badass later on.
Yeah.
But, and I'm sorry that I'm making you do that, and I'm not doing it. But yeah, my Ryuko makes her way to the school and is immediately causing trouble over there. She's picking a fight with the kids. She meets Gamagori first, right?
Ryuko?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, and she calls him out. No, it's because right when they were there, Satsuki made like a public appearance.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and she went on, pointed herself out, saying, I'm looking for the person who owns the other half of this giant scissor blade I have, called, appropriately, the scissor blade.
Was it?
It was...
well, for now it was called a scissor, yeah, scissor blade.
I think the name was weird. It was like another Toppen Tengaku and Lager name.
I think, I'm pretty sure it was a scissor render.
Oh, yeah. Maybe then. I need to look that up.
Maybe when it's like used full potential, it has a different name.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it has two together, it's just a scissor render.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm looking for the other half because whoever killed my dad had the other half of the scissor. I saw them running out the night he got murdered, and
which by the way, when you look at it, like you just see it like a mysterious like human, like you don't see any hair-like frizzles coming out.
No, it's Satsuki. It's a silhouette of Satsuki, which was weird. But then right when they reveal who it is, suddenly that silhouette has the fizzles. But yeah, what ends up happening is Satsuki's like, oh, she has the scissor blade, and she starts poking at her like, fine, if you want to fight me, I'm going to send in one of my lieutenants to come. Not even he wasn't even a lieutenant. He was
the club president.
Yeah, who was just one of the basic soldiers, a general, if you will.
It was a boxing one.
Yeah,
too.
Voiced by Ben Diskin.
Another one?
Ben Diskin, that's the thing. He didn't notice that until I pointed it out. But I'm like, when you're in anime, you're like 2 to 3 characters. Yeah.
That did not sound like Ben Diskin.
The only time.
Then again, the bling bling guy did not sound like him at all.
Oh, dude, that sounded just like. There was an episode of Codename Kids Next Door where number 1 had to talk street. That's where that voice was.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah, like remember, he was Nigel Uno and Hoagie Gilligan in Codename Kids Next Door.
Hoagie Gilligan.
Number 2.
Number 2's. Wait, number 2 or his brother?
Number 2.
Oh.
Wait. Is it Hoagie is him? Tommy is the brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Tommy. But yeah, voiced by Ben Diskin, who, kicks ass, and they explain that my suit is made out of a Goku uniform, and Goku uniforms, which are made out of life fibers, are hard as steel. So he's literally hitting her with, like, basically concrete level, like, boxing gloves. Just, like, decking her in the face. So Ryuko basically retreats after getting her ass kicked, lands in the city, and is woken up to a creepy man breathing heavily over her face. Because one thing we actually forgot to point out was she met Mako by this point.
Yeah.
They had a run-in because Mako's little brother tried to rob her, and she kicked all of their asses. It's funny because the thing with Trigger is they love having absurd humor. So when you get jumped by a bunch of kids on the street, they're not holding baseball bats and the fist. They suddenly have ninja-level weapons and a chainsaw. And but she beats them all up. Ryuko scolds the little brother, and Ryuko introduces herself. They end up sitting together in class until everything we just talked about right now happened. But yeah, this creepy old man breathing over her face was Mako's dad, who is not a doctor, but specifically a back alley doctor. A really shady one, too. Like, I love the whole blood loss thing. Was just like, oh god, Mayuko's gonna die of blood loss. I've seen it happen to the customers that my dad would do when he would drain them of all their blood. Did you just hear what you said? Yeah, I have to go save her from blood loss. Mayuko, don't bleed out. You're wasting a lot of money. But yeah, he's a back alley doctor, and
a bad one at that.
Yeah.
Where I mean, he could get sued, but he can't because their patient's mostly dead.
Yeah. He's like the only times that I can get sued is when I kill the patients by accident. But it's funny because he's almost like a professional back alley doctor. Like, again, the whole point of a back alley doctor is that they're usually vets or ex-surgeons who don't like to point out that, they operate on mob bosses with no medical records. But it's funny because it's literally the house has a giant neon sign that says back alley doctor on it. And remember, their family truck is also an ambulance that says back alley doctor on it. But Ryuko ends up basically staying over with the family, though they seem pretty okay for the most part, except for the fact that the brother, the dad, and the family dog Guts likes to perv out on her, and they mainly when she's naked or like in the shower, they'll just like be peeping in somehow. And the whole on-running joke is that she's literally throwing them out windows or beating them up, and they're apologizing for it.
You'd expect the mom to do something at least.
I think it's because the mom knows that she can handle herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's that type that just smiles, and you just know that something's creepy about her. But I don't think she does nothing throughout the series. Right?
The mom? No, the only time she really changes is when they upgrade to like the 2-star suite. Yeah, but that's about it. The other weird thing about it though is when it is like I get that Ryuko seems like an okay girl, but they almost immediately they're like, yeah, you can live with us if you want. I'm all like, she walks around with a giant scissor blade. I wouldn't trust her, even if she is kawaii.
But what if she's waifu?
And she is. When it comes to waifus in this series, that's Ryuko for me. I mean, she's no Segumi, but she is up there with everyone else for me.
How dare you not include Mako?
Mako's a little too much for me. I mean, everyone always thinks they want to have that hyperactive girl or hyperactive boyfriend, but then you realize how tiring that is. Unless you're into that. Because when it's funny because there's a part where Mako is saying like, yeah, my dad would say like, yeah, that Ryuko girl has a nice rack on her. I'm like, your boobs are bigger than her.
Right?
But then again, you can't really say that about your own daughter. I mean, the dad's not that big of a pervert.
Yeah.
I'll just perv out on the girl who's exactly the same age as my daughter, who might as well is my daughter by this point.
Only Gamagori can do that.
Yeah. I still ship that.
I can't see how that works.
She's 15, he's 20. He's just got to wait a couple of years. Well, 16, I think, by the midway through of the series, because they got to hit... They didn't start doing that whole Gamagori liked her thing until by the middle point of the series, and then that's when they dropped that, oh yeah, she might be 16. Age of consent in Japan, it's okay. But yeah, like what ends up happening is she gets her butt kicked. Oh fuck, we skipped something. She gets her butt kicked, and then she goes back to her dad's house bleeding. Then
you see the mysterious teacher, the homeroom teacher.
Yeah, who walks with his back slinked and talks like this and has big nerdy glasses that is scared every time he talks to someone. And and like he presses a trapdoor, causes her to fall down, takes off the glasses, and suddenly you get like a really handsome face.
He gets bundle.
Yeah, you get basically this show's version of Kamina, because Jesus Christ, did he look like Kamina? But
at least he's alive
yeah, he makes it through.
and not die by a kiss.
God damn it, Yoko. You killed two of my favorite characters. You bitch. But you're still adorable as shit, too.
She's still waifu.
Even though she's below age of consent, people are like, oh, she's 16 too. No, she was 14 when the show started.
She was still waifu.
And then she was like 19. She was like in her 20s by the other arc.
Wasn't she a teacher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why she had to have been in her 20s. And she was older than Simon. Simon and the other girl were... God, I think they were like 11 or 10. Yeah, but yeah. So what ends up happening is she falls in this giant pile of clothes. Her blood falls in the pile of clothes, and suddenly a sailor uniform, a black and red sailor uniform, pop up and pins her against the wall. He's like, "Oh yeah, give me your blood, put me on. I need to be warm." And he's like, "Hey, get off me! Are you talking?" It's like, "Of course I can talk. Come on, let me wear you." And then he's like, "Come on, look, it's a perfect fit." And she's just like screaming. But she comes back to school one day because Mako is going to get disciplined for skipping out on class or something like that. No,
because she was affiliated with Ryoko, since she was the only one that made contact with her.
Yeah. And I like how she's not afraid of what they're going to do to her. She's scared because everyone can see her panties.
Which you can't see.
No, that's how it was.
The
weird.
skirt physics was just fucked up there. But the shirt physics was just fine.
Mm-hmm. You did a little bit of underboob. But then suddenly Ryuko shows up, like knocks out a couple of the one-star people, cuts down Mako, and they're like, "Oh my God, you saved her!" But then the head of the boxing club shows up again, tries to hit her, but this time ends up hitting something equally as hard as his boxing glove. And what was it? It was her bare stomach. Because
that doesn't make sense.
Because they do explain it. It's sad that you didn't finish the last 5 episodes, but they actually do explain why the suit transformation is so slutty. I actually didn't pick that up the first time. I'll bring it up.
Don't tell me it's like the more like slutty she looks, the more powerful she is. Okay,
no, it's not that bad. It's actually kind of the opposite. But yeah, basically the sailor uniform transformed into a very tight, skimpy outfit that barely covers her tits, like just covers the nipples and a little bit above the boob, and then just that you could just see. It leaves no imagination. Like, if you want to imagine her naked like that, just add in nipples and a vagina and boom, she's naked. That is how slutty this fucking uniform is. But So I'll skip on ahead before we go back. It's revealed around the time something happens to Ryuko, not going to say what yet, that they reveal that the reason Senketsu gets so slutty and why Junketsu is slutty when Satsuki was is because when the more life fibers is not supposed to be touching human skin, and when the less life fibers that are touching human skin, the less likely it is for the Kamui to overtake you and take over your body. So basically, Junketsu and Senketsu, well, Senketsu at least, is intentionally trying to cover as little of a body as possible, so he doesn't drink too much blood and goes crazy and ends up just covering her entire body.
Yeah.
That's why, if you remember, when something happens to Ryuko, where she's forced to wear Junketsu, she is covered up. She still looks a little slutty, but she's more covered up than she was with Senketsu.
Wait, does she try on Junketsu?
Yeah. How long was it? 2014? 2015 you saw it?
When did the dub finish? Like the last batch.
2015.
Yeah, it's probably on there.
Yeah.
God, it's been 3 years.
Yeah, something ends up happening where she's forced to put on Junketsu. And they do explain it's because life fibers are such a raw force of energy that if you want to put on a life fiber uniform and you want its power, you have to deal with it covering less of your body.
So so the less coverage, the more powerful.
Yes, but you also have to be comfortable and not resist the power of the Kamui, because what ends up happening while this fight with Ryuko is happening is Ryuko's strong and powerful, but the problem is that Junketsu's giving her a time limit. She has 5 minutes to beat this clown before he ends up drinking too much of her blood and she passes out. And this becomes a frequent thing later, and we'll get to it soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, she ends up fighting the boxer, and I love how he's like, so you are strong. Well, I'll have to fight you the notable way. Here's my ultra glove. And it's literally just like a brick with like a brick life fiber thing with like spikes on it. And he's like, this is the honorable way.
That's not how boxing works.
Oh, what the fuck was that? That's
Most of the clubs there, that's not how they work at all.
No. Like, I love how Mako was a part of the tennis club. And when she didn't show up, they were going to stone her. They were going to pelt her with tennis balls.
Oh, God.
But that's the weird thing about the school. One of the weird things that we didn't point out, well, we'll point it out soon. But she basically defeats the boxer and harvests a little bit of the life fiber that was in the costume.
Yeah.
And she goes in, says, I'm ready to get my answers now. Satsuki comes down, whips out her sword, and cuts through Senketsu like butter. Which, again, after seeing, like, a guy with a life fiber suit try to punch her and not really do a lot of damage, that's already kind of a... I thought you guys said these are supposed to be hot as steel. That thing looks like a regular katana. What the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
But then she explains this sword was made specifically to cut down life fibers, so yes, Senketsu is nothing special.
Which should have, like, brought up to something like she had a plan, because she wouldn't need something like that if her family is the only one that has access to life fibers.
Yeah, and also, now that we can get into it, remember that she basically turned Hinoji Academy, more specifically Hinoji City, into like a military camp.
Yeah.
Where if you're a civilian, you live in these really shitty condos. If you're a one-star uniform, which officially makes you a typical grunt, an army grunt, you live in these slightly nicer condos.
Which Mako should have had done that instead.
Instead of trying to move all the way up, yeah. And then if you're a two-star uniform, then you live in these giant lavish mansions, and they do pay you, so you make pretty good money when you're up there. Jobs are better for you. The dad wasn't a back alley doctor, he was just a regular doctor.
From a doctor's guild.
Yeah. Who was cheating on his wife? It was presumed that they were cheating on each other.
Oh, God.
But yeah, but basically, yeah, that's the thing that should have told you there was something up, because she has her soldiers, her lieutenants, and her generals. And then there's her, who's like, the commander-in-chief of everything. She basically created her own little nation in this city and is using the school to rule it. And it's weird because the school has a principal, but even he knows her mom's paying for this school. She can do whatever the fuck she wants.
And you never see any of the adults except any of the teachers or principal except for the
teacher.
Homeroom teacher again.
Yeah, that's the only one you see. And they are like busting through the halls. They are blowing up classrooms. They blow up half the school at one point.
I guess that's education for you.
Yeah. But like what ends up happening from there on out is she starts searching for more questions, and it seems like the only person that might have any idea of what's going on is her homeroom teacher, who something happened to her. She passed out and she woke up in his bed.
Well, in his couch.
Yeah, in his couch. And he seems to actually get what's going on, but won't tell her anything because he can't trust her. It's later revealed that he can't trust her, so he can't tell her anything right now.
I still just can't comprehend why, though.
It's because they don't... No, he didn't know about who she was, huh? About whose daughter she was?
I'm pretty sure because if he knew she was gonna be at that old manor, the burned
No,
down.
no, no,
manor.
not her dad's daughter. Do you remember who her mom was? Don't say it if you do.
Yeah, I remember.
He didn't. I don't think he knew about that because he said if I had known, I would have found a better way to break it to her.
Oh, so that's what he meant.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
he
but-
didn't.
Yeah, but trust her. I still can't get
Yeah.
that.
But
whatever.
as the show goes on, he has seen her work with the no, and also there was that inherent fear that she wasn't going to be able to handle the kamoi, which is why they send in another dude who is there specifically to just kill her and take the kamoi and give it to someone else. Well, kill the kamoi. Who, God, I forget his name. Do you have the cast list?
I do, but my phone's acting up right now.
God damn it. Okay, I'll get it.
Oh wait. I may have to look through in here now. What was his name again?
I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, Kinagase Sumugu.
Damn. Okay, Samugu. Yeah. Because I need a name to I need a name to better pronounce these. But yeah, he's basically works for the same corporation that the teacher works for, and he's basically their personal hitman. He has a gun that renders all life fibers defenseless. He uses grenades that are supposedly made out of starch.
Starch?
Yeah, because starch hardens the clothes.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes the clothes really stiff. If you use too much, then you get really uncomfortable feeling clothes. So yeah, it is presumed that's what he's doing, and yeah, he's kicking her ass pretty hard. He's beating her up. He's nearly kills her and nearly does kill the kamoi. And up until this point, Ryuko never really looked at Senketsu as anything more than like a weapon, like an outfit, because she didn't really quite get the idea that it was a friendship.
Yeah, it's as the episodes goes on, like the bond between them grows stronger and stronger.
Yeah.
It makes her utilize the kamui more effectively.
Yeah. Oh, we actually skipped an episode. When Satsuki puts on her kamoi Junketsu. Junkens.
Yeah, Junketsu.
Yeah, she ends up putting it on, fully embraces the power, and because one of the big problems Ryuko was having, which made her look adorable, I don't give a fuck, was every time she'd activate the kamoi, she would be blushing.
Oh, yeah.
She was incredibly embarrassed about how skimpy it was making her look. And it was creating problems for Senketsu. He's saying, I have to drink too much blood, 5 minutes. So while they're fighting Satsuki, she's getting her ass kicked to her, and Ryuko asks her, how can you walk around like this? Aren't you embarrassed? And she's like, please, I'm trying to get my own goals made here, so I don't care about how much flesh I need to flaunt around. If it means obtaining my goals, I will show as much as I can.
Don't forget, Junketsu does mean purity.
It does, which is really odd.
That's so pure.
And which is true, because Satsuki is also one of the hottest characters in the
Which
show.
makes you wonder about Ryuga when she puts on the Junkets.
Well, Junkets means fresh blood.
That's Seketsu.
Oh, Senketsu, yeah.
Senketsu. Junketsu is purity.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Ryuga with purity doesn't make sense.
No. Wait,
honest-
do you mean Ryuku or Ragyo?
Ragyu.
Oh, yeah, no. She's a woman who's false purity.
Yeah.
She thinks she's pure, but she's twisted.
Which makes me wonder. I wanted Yui to put on a Junketsu at least.
She couldn't. Oh, you didn't finish the last few episodes.
I see.
There's a reason to why she can't. And it has something to do with her being, connected, way too connected to the life fibers.
Yeah.
But yeah, what ends up happening... what ends up happening is Senketsu's like, you are wearing me.
Oh,
but
it's Nui. Okay.
Yeah, she's like, you are being worn by me. You are wearing me, but you are not being worn by me. No, I'm being worn by you, but you are not fully wearing me. And she doesn't get exactly what that means. So Satsuki's words actually do kind of give her an idea, and that is, fully embrace it, don't fight the transformation, let it flow, And yeah, there's an immediate difference. Senketsu has like these weird, what looks like a weird boost on his back now.
Oh yeah.
The little
Just
shoulder
increases.
pads. Yeah, it increases in size, which is funny seeing this character that is supposed to be a school uniform that is represented with eyes, having like an eye patch.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you see Junketsu and he has both of his eyes, and then like this one is Senketsu just has like an eye patch, like it's just an X where the other eye should be. So it's funny when the transformations happen and it's just like one eye, but it makes it easier to focus on him,
Yeah.
like focus on his little personality shifts. But she ends up fully embracing it, and the cool thing about it is that Senketsu only needs to drink a certain amount of her blood to power the suit, and that's it.
Yeah, she won't like run out of blood or have a time limit.
Yeah, there's no more 5-minute fights anymore, which is great. And they fight, and it kind of led to a standoff. But Satsuki assured her that if she had made one specific move, she could have killed her. At least that's what we think, because from what we know, Satsuki starts bending the rules in the school to kind of test Ryuko.
Oh, with all the club presidents going after Ryuka.
And how the Elite Four were forbidden to fight her, like, at all. But she made a special exception for Sanageyama, which is the head of the athletic club department.
Yeah.
And because he was all of these people, as you learn, they all have their own specific reasons for following Satsuki. And some of them all of them are pretty noble, because these four love her to death. Like,
I don't think the hacker one does. I don't think like he actually loves her to death.
he respects her.
Yeah, he respects her, but not like...
No, you got to get to that scene. You got to just finish the series when we're done.
I guess.
And just get to the scene where Ryuko was going to, like, just punch her in the face after they had made, the little thing. And he he was also one of the people who stepped in the way, and it's like, if you really wanted to punch Lady Satsuki with all your might, we would have been dead if we took those punches.
That's true.
But you held back your punches. But yeah, no, they all love her. They all sacrifice. They are all sacrificing major things just to be with this girl.
I'm pretty sure Gamagori sacrificed the most.
Gamagori flunked by 2 years so he can enter high school with her. Basically, the hacker, he was just a troublemaker.
Yeah, he just wants to hack for fun.
Yeah.
By starting off plummeting the stock exchange.
Of the Kiryuin family, which...
I think it was the Revox, yeah.
Revox, which is owned by Kiryuin.
It has one of the strongest impenetrable firewall.
Yeah, which when you break through that firewall, that's what impressed Satsuki, is that she was able to break through it, but they can immediately check you in the process, because that's how awesome they are. But yeah, they all have their reasons for following her. What is it? Sanageyama was one of the many schools that Satsuki was taking over little by little.
Yeah.
And she beat the fuck out of him. He respected her for that and said, if you come to the school I am creating, I will give you a beautiful battlefield. And that's one of the main reasons he wanted to join the school, is so he can let loose. And he's given a Goku uniform to let loose. And it's really cool when he starts challenging Ryuko, and you do see just like how crazy powerful this guy is.
And gets even more crazy powerful when he sacrifices
his eyes. Yeah, because he was reading her entire body movement. So when she figures out, hey, if I blind you, I can cut your suit down, and then boom, you're done. But he's disgraced, and before he can do anything, before going to Satsuki, because one of the things with Satsuki is you could be her best friend, but if you let her down, she will drop you like a log.
Yes.
And so he goes to the school seamstress, all played by the voice actor for Natsu, if the voice actor sounded familiar.
Yeah, it does sound familiar now that you mentioned it.
Yeah, who ends up basically like asking him like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "I need you to do something for me." And the whole time, it was presumed that this went on for years. Satsuki and him kind of have this weird game where he'll try to sneak up behind her without her realizing it. But Satsuki's just that good that she can always call him out.
Yeah.
So he ends up asking him, "Sew my eyes shut," goes to Satsuki. Satsuki was already ready to brush him off and is like, "No, let me do it one more time. Here's my resolve." And they go back, they fight again, they try to blind him again, get their ass kicked because they realize, no, he tapped into like basically a blind swordsman skill where you are not only reading the body, but you are now reading the soul. He is feeling your movement from the air around him, which, again, is pretty impossible to beat.
It's impossible plus badass at the same time.
Yeah, because he's also one of the few of the Elite Four to beat her, to actually beat her. And their fight is never actually, like, their fight is never rematched even after she got stronger, which I still like to think that the writers of the show didn't think of a way of how she can beat him, even with how powerful she became. So that's why they chose to have him be the one to get interrupted by Nui. But it could also be, you already saw them fight. Fuck it, let's just bring Nui in now.
I wanted to see that rematch.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing too. Is his whole reason for like not wanting to die during the invasion of the covers is he wanted to have a rematch with her again. But by the end of that episode, we are shown that what's the name, Satsuki was able to more or less. Sorry, my bad. He was able to sneak up on Satsuki.
Yeah, like he snuck up in front of her this time.
Yeah, she's like, "Do you really think I wouldn't notice he's standing behind me?" And then he's just in front of her. and apparently the deal was sneak up behind me without me realizing and get the jump on me, and then I'll let you have tea with me. Though he couldn't anymore because sacrificing his eyes sent his entire body into overdrive, so he can't drink tea without it feeling so uncomfortably hot.
Yeah.
So he sacrificed a lot just to show this girl how much he respects her and wants to continue standing by her side. Let's go to one of the goofier episodes. Let's go to the
tardy one.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna do. the miserable morning, I think the episode was called. Some of these titles are really weird too.
Yeah.
Like she's so hot, she might pass out.
Oh no, it was so sexy she might pass out.
So sexy, yeah. Yeah, it's hold up, I kind of want to make sure I didn't leave Yana hanging. Okay, no, I didn't. But
actually, I think that's the only one that's crazy. Everything else is just serious.
No, that was like that was the Gurren Lagann Hot Spring episode, where it was the one episode that had virtually nothing to do with the plot, except to just get goofy.
Yeah.
And yeah, you find out that every semester, the disciplinary committee, basically in a way of cutting down the level of no-star students, they basically have these tardy obstacle course that if you're tardy, you have 4 hours to make up to go all the way up to the school, but they cut off the tram, the no-star tram, and they rig it with like these terrible booby traps that are like they're basically the snake path in freaking Dragon Ball, where you're running on a track, but then the track makes a loop, and it's like, how the fuck am I supposed to get past that?
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, you see people trying to like hug the floor, trying to crawl up and falling down, but then you have like other people who are getting hit by logs or like giant crusher things trying to crush them, fire pits.
God, some of the traps are ridiculous.
They're trying to kill these kids.
No, then there's one where you take the bus.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, but that's for the no-star uniforms. What happened there is they stole that bus.
Yeah, they stole that bus. The some random mom started the shootout. You see everyone shooting at them. Some of the elderly pulling out their damn bazookas.
It's every 1-star citizen. Yeah, and it's not even like the students who are actually supposed to be soldiers. It's the parents and like grandparents. It's funny because like the bus zooms past her. She takes out, barely being animated, she takes out a phone and says, "Oh yes, we have some no stars that stole the bus. Permission to use force?" Okay, cool. And then still holding a baby, pulls out a Tommy gun and you just see like But the bus is also built like a machine gun turret, so Mako, not even meaning to hit anyone, is just firing the gun and flopping around, and it's like not hitting anyone, but it's just causing them to stop shooting at them. And at the same time, they ran into another student who was, posing as a no-star student.
I think she was the disciplinary of the trap.
She was the trap master.
Yeah.
She was no Felix, though. Yeah, no.
Now that I'm rewatching this, it was kind of disappointing.
Yeah, no actual trap. I was a little disappointed that there was no Yuri in it.
There was no trap there at all, huh? God damn that.
The fact that he's looking, I don't think we're being that loud.
I don't think so.
No, we're being as... I just hope he's being nosy because I know we're not being loud. Or else I'd know from the audio.
Yeah, plus the lady doesn't say anything so far. Like even the lady, even the workers here, I don't think they've like said anything so far.
They walked right past us.
Yeah, they walked past us like nothing.
Yeah, okay, no, we're fine. He's probably just looking. No, there was no Yuri moment because they were kind of setting up that like the girl was making Ryuko blush.
Technically, there was some Yuri moments with the mom and Satsuki.
Yeah. But I'm talking about with Ryuko. I want to see my little Ryuko bring out her bi side. Or maybe she might be gay. We don't know.
Put her with the Elite Four.
Which one? No gangbangs.
No. Put her with that one, the girl in the Elite Four.
No, she hated her a lot.
That's what makes it more. That's what makes this more pleasing.
Oh God! It also doesn't help that she was voiced by the girl who played Sayaka in Madoka Magica, the one that actually was a lesbian.
Oh.
Because she got together with the redhead in that show. Yeah. But yeah. Also, funny thing is, the voice actress for Ryuko in the dub is Gon. In the Hunter.
Yeah, I noticed that.
It's so funny.
Like when I heard it again, I'm like, "Hey, is this Gon?" Yeah, it's her.
It's Gon.
It is her.
And Alibaba.
Yeah, and Alibaba. Wait, no, isn't Aladdin? Yeah, Aladdin.
I thought Aladdin was the blonde kid.
Alibaba's the one that gets disappointed with the wrong prostitute.
Yeah, he's technically one of the main three kids. But they end up making it to school after like hijacking the 2-star lift, making it to the school, but then they find out that the girl betrayed her, because one of the main things we forgot to mention is Ryuko had to do this without her kamoi, because the kamoi was being washed, and the whole
which the kamoi was suffering at first until he finally felt the sweet soothe of irony.
Yeah. And there's Nesta. Okay. He's not coming, but he's over there. So what ends up happening is every time the dad Guts or the son try to get her the thing, try to give the suit to her in the middle of the obstacle course. Which I fucking love how it's like, look, Dad, there's Ryuko. Okay, let's go catch up to her. Drives up the side of the wall.
No, side of the building and goes on top of the building.
Yeah, like parkours off the building and stuff.
Oops.
Yeah.
Pulls down the pants.
Yeah. Oh, the pain. Pulls down her panties. Causes them to nosebleed and like crash the car.
And then repeats the whole scene with, it's up to you, not my son.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I can do this. Does it again? Runs into the same situation. But I think it was the shirt this time. Yeah. Then he leaves it to the dog Guts.
And then Guts gets a full panty shot, like a full frontal panty shot, and chips over. And it turns out that the girl was a member, was basically the chap master, created the chaps for the obstacle course, but wanted the Kamui so she could rank up to be with Lady Satsuki or even hell surpass Lady Satsuki.
Which that was a dream that she shouldn't have gone
Yeah.
or made at all.
Yeah, because they ended up disciplining her really hard for that.
I don't think they disciplined her. All they said was, "You're expelled."
Yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah.
it. That's it. Nothing else. I don't think you see her again.
Yeah, and no, not at all. Not even in the final fight. They end up taking back the costume, but the girl had one more trick. This all happened while they were on the school campus, but then you find out they were actually in a square with wheels on it, and the campus was actually cardboard cutouts.
That doesn't make sense. How do you not notice anything? How do you not notice the movements?
Right? Well, the thing wasn't even moving. How do you not notice that the dimensions might be a little off? Like, how good was this fake? And yeah, it was a chap she created called Start From the Beginning, which basically they're on a giant piece of land that takes you all the way back to the beginning, guaranteeing that you're going to get expelled. And it's funny because while they're going up too, you see some kids who just gave up and they're calling in for a role because they know they're going to get expelled. But yes, another thing is they do make it to school.
Yeah.
They crash right in the middle of the class.
1 minute left.
Yeah. But, they make it in, and that was about it for that episode. So, let's see. We talked about the dude with the mohawk and how the relationship between Ryuko and them is improving. I guess the only thing we have left, if I'm right...
It would have to be the
tournament, right?
It wasn't more like a tournament. It was more like an all-out fight.
Yeah. Well, it was a fight that turned into a tournament. Because it was still like a tournament.
It was an all-out. No, it was an all-out fight with the winners, with the top winners being the obvious.
Yeah.
That made it. Then they made it a tournament for Ryoku to handle each one of the Elite Four.
Yeah.
There you go.
And if she beats, if she beats them, then we get. We forgot an episode, but we'll go to that real quick. If she beats them, then she gets the answers that she wants from Satsuki. So, what ends up happening, though, is Ryuko, before that, Ryuko actually realizes that the only way to get up closer to Satsuki is to open a club. So she opens a fight club.
I love that.
And since she doesn't want to do any of the actual paperwork and stuff, she gives I like those sweaters. She gives those the problem to Mako, who eventually doesn't like doing it, but then realizes what it's doing for the family financially and making them happy. Quotey fingers.
I mean, they were happy at first.
Yeah, she's scheduling fights for her, but then as it goes on, she starts pushing her even more. Like, hey, you see everyone in this gym class? Yeah, fight them all. And poor Ryuko's she's getting tired, winded, and then as it goes on, this family dynamic that she realizes she never got to have, she's finally getting to have with with Mako's family, is now going away because they're so busy with their lavish life that they're ignoring everyone.
Yeah.
And mainly ignoring her because
that was kind of depressing.
It was, because when you think about it,
all she wanted was to eat together as a family.
Yeah, because she never got to do that with her dad. Once she was old enough, her dad took her to a boarding school. Yeah. While he went on to, experiment on the Kamuis and create nudist beach.
No, having fun on the nudist beach.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, that was Mako's stuff.
That's why.
He created nudist beach, and he's like, Mako's dad was a big pervert. He's like, no, that's not the nudist beach he's talking about. But he ends up, she ends up basically dropping out of the fight club and doesn't care if it boosts her all the way down to the no-star comments again. But Mako is not ready to drop that. So they give Mako a 2-star Goku uniform, which basically. She looks like a little Jotaro, which was so fucking cute.
But where's your stand? Would have been nice if we come out if it like there's somewhat of a string.
Well, she was a mixture of technically she did have a stand because Bungo Stray Dogs has stands, and there was a guy that his stand was technically his jacket that turned into a snake. You don't remember that guy? He's in the first half, the main villain.
The main that's not his stand though.
Yeah, his power was that his jacket turned into a snake.
Yeah.
That's
I wouldn't call that as a stand.
Technically. Come on. You should watch Diamond is Unbreakable because you'll see that there's a girl that her stand is literally her hair.
That's not a stand though.
That's
not a stand.
It's still the power of the stand.
I've seen characters using their hair as a weapon.
Yeah. Well, what about Oingo Boingo? How one guy's stand is a book and then the other one can just change his face. Mm-hmm.
Wait, which one was Oingo Boingo?
The two brothers, one of them had a book that can predict the future, and the other one could change his face, and he ends up getting in the car accidentally with. Oh,
okay, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, with JoJo's friends. But yeah, sorry guys, we're kind of losing it right now. So where were we? Right. So they end up fighting. Ryuku.
Can we just talk about Gamagori's car?
Not yet.
Oh no, you're not there yet. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, no. So what ends up happening?
Oh yeah, we were talking about the Mako fight.
Yeah. So she refuses to fight her, is getting beaten up by Mako, and then later Mako realizes that this happiness that I thought I was giving them wasn't happiness; it was greed, and I'm going to withdraw too. But one of the funny things that was happening before that was that her parents were there and they were rooting her to kill Ryuko. And yeah, basically they go back to normal, but they realize something. Ryuko was able to destroy every uniform in the school.
Yeah.
These Goku uniforms that were made specifically to fight to fight something was completely for nothing. So she ends up starting this giant school-wide battle royale that is basically thinning down the numbers, testing the suits, giving them an excuse to destroy the suits in the process.
Yeah.
But of course, the Elite Four, they purposely make it that there are 5 possible positions to make it on top. So obviously what's happening...
And I did not hear the 5 positions. I did not hear that at all.
Yeah. Well, obviously, Elite Four.
Yeah. It was pretty... Yeah. It was pretty obvious.
Yeah, because even the Elite Four...
You know what? Even if they haven't announced the top 5, it was kind of obvious.
Yeah. Because the Elite Four, they were even okay, we'll see you guys on Monday. Okay. And then when Gamagori gives them a ride after Ryuku's scooter runs out of gas, which I love how she gets that scooter. He scammed it off a dead patient. Gamagori ends up giving them a ride because he just got his driver's license because he wanted to be Lady Satsuki's personal chauffeur.
And plus, since he's still a member of the disciplinary committee, he still helps any student out, even if it is Matoi.
Yeah. And he doesn't even he doesn't even get into the members of the disciplinary committee don't get into fights unless they are called first.
Yeah.
So while the students are trying to, what's happening is the no-star students are challenging 2-star students and selling their 2-star uniforms, and the same thing's trying to happen with the Elite Four. They're trying to go after the Elite Four, but you can't fucking do anything because those guys are way beyond powerful than you. Kind of funny that the hacker's kill count was higher than Gamagori too.
I know, right?
Yeah, that means he was actually going out and killing people.
He doesn't seem like the fighter, though.
Mm-mm.
He just, because his fight was pretty quick.
Yeah. His fight was also nothing but a big parody, too. It was just yeah, I've heard enough of you. I can guess your every movement type of guys. I'll just have to be random as fuck. So, yeah, he ends up basically giving them a ride. explains, what we just explained right now. But then they get attacked by the Motor Club and the BB Gun Club that form together to become the Airsoft Motor Club. Where, man, that two-star uniform was hilarious. It was a car. It was a car with his head sticking out.
I don't know how that worked. But okay.
Right? And they just...
I like how Matoi questions one of the Elite Four's Goku, 3-star Goku uniform, but says nothing about the car. Star uniform.
Yeah. So Gamagori, because he realizes they're only after me because no one can use Senketsu besides you, he ends up showing them his Goku uniform. Which
after hearing like, oh yeah, he was a masochist in this one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hit me, punish me like the day before. And we get like a flashback where he was not disciplinary committee, but student council president of a school that was being run by a guy who was the son of another man who owned like every job in town. Yeah. And then like the daughter of the police chief who are telling a kid to go kill himself. Gets really dark, and the kid goes ahead, kills himself, and Gamagori's like, screaming because he couldn't save him in time. But the whole time for at least a good 30 seconds, you see the guy like boing, boing, and like he turns around, notices he's still okay, and you find out that Sasuke had a trampoline ready for him, and they're like. You find out Sasuke bought out the dad's company and then proved that the cop was embezzling money, getting him kicked off the police force, replacing it with another police force, and that basically impressed Gamagori, seeing that if you want to be strong and get results done, you have to be strong-willed. You have to be willing to do things that other people can do. But also the whole time, she did it non-violently.
Yeah, she did. And
that was one of the main reasons I think he specifically took the disciplinary committee, where he only has to punish people who deserve it. He's not doing it to anyone.
He's not doing it for fun. Only for people who don't deserve what they're doing.
Yeah. So he ends up joining her. And again, one thing we forgot to mention about Gamagori is throughout the entire series,
his size always changes.
Yeah, there's a size consistency, and it's inconsistency.
And I don't think it's just him. It's all the other characters too.
Sometimes
there's some like moments with Matoi and Satsuki.
Yeah. If you look at that entire episode with the Toddy episode, the entire art style's chibi, like a light chibi, and yeah, that happens. It's only when the show gets really serious, but it's always Gamagori where he'll be 6 feet, like 7 foot tall most of the time. But then later he'll be so big that he's like taking up the entire room and his head's like touching the ceiling. There's even one part where during the school festival, like the sports festival.
Oh, he was pointing at the time.
Yeah. Yeah,
that doesn't make sense.
He was pointing at the time, but also they're driving away on the trucks back to Hinochi Academy, and you just see him taking up an entire back of the truck. Like
I did not notice that.
Yeah, you just see like his shoulders sticking out of the back of the truck, and his head.
And then there's that one, the flashback too, after he was defeated by Satsuki.
And Satsuki's on him like Totoro.
You just see him shake. You just see her shaking hands with his finger.
Yeah.
Like what the hell?
And again, he wasn't even that big when they first met, and it's just, I think it's a joke that they were happened.
Yeah. But I don't know what that joke was for.
It was probably just goofiness. A lot of people in Sugar are, kind of goofballs. You saw Supernatural Battles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one straight out had like jokes that didn't make sense, like. The main character,
Supernatural Battle. No, I haven't. I thought it was the one with the Erabe.
Oh no. When Supernatural Battles Become Commonplace, which is also directed by Sugar.
Oh, I really want to see that.
Despite the fact that is the only adapted, up until Gridman comes out, that's the only adapted anime.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Because they get weird with it. There's a part where like a character punches the main character in the head, but she suddenly has like the life fiber boxing gloves. Like they get really weird with the show.
I think I might see that.
Yeah, no, it's really good.
No, because I put it on my list. 'Cause I saw a picture of I think a blue-haired girl saying you were cheating on him.
I think so.
No, that's for me. Like how I found it.
I'm trying to see. Because I think there is a character like that. But yeah, it's a funny show, but it just sucks that you feel like you've seen the prologue to what is supposed to be a main series, but I don't think Chica wanted to go through with it, or maybe it wasn't big enough to go through with. Especially since they're a tiny company too. But we do have those weird inconsistencies that they love doing a lot. And what ends up happening is the day of the finals come, the little test of it's the Elite Four fighting Ryuku. The fuck? Anyway.
Who knew the mom became the main character?
I know, right? Well, the mom does have a wonderful character design. But she ends up fighting them and ends up fighting Gamagori first because Gamagori defeated the less students.
Yeah.
So they end up fighting, and we find out that, well, we already found out before, but the Goku uniforms can transform. But the thing is, Gamagori has two different versions of transforming, because basically he's a pain sponge. You punch him, and then he sends the attacks back at you tenfold with like this barrage of whips.
Just think of that as a counter.
Yeah,
He's just countering pretty much.
Yeah, like Meliodas' full counter.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah, except this one is just whips. And I gotta say, it was kind of funny seeing Ryuka get whipped around like that.
I see moment you see her get her ass whooped, literally.
Yeah, you're like getting side, head, and then there's one where she's just like, the ass is out there and you just see a whip go. Yeah, and I actually like the beginning of that because Gamagori, showed them the suit. So she's like, I'm not going to attack you. I know if I attack you, you're going to send it back to me tenfold. And it's like, you're right. But you didn't know that I can hurt myself, did you?
Oh, that's the stuff. Hurt myself more. Yes.
Again, this is Patrick Seitz that when you, meet him at conventions, he is just a fucking goofball. Like, he's a big fucking dork. So the fact that he is playing a character like this is really funny because you're like, yeah, that's something I would imagine him doing. Also, that was the voice actor for the American Dio.
That was him?
Yeah, that was Dio's voice. I've never been a big fan of the American Dio voice.
Yeah, he doesn't say the world like I wanted it to be.
No. The world.
The world.
They just gotta do it for the hell of it.
Do it for the memes.
Yeah. But she ends up basically doing something pretty hardcore because we're realizing that Senkets can actually do transformations now.
Yeah, he's learning at a high progressive rate.
Yeah,
with each fight, she goes up against the Elite Four.
Yeah, it's the more life fibers she's consuming.
Yeah,
and so what she ends up doing is she intentionally makes him attack again, tries to dodge it, but then allows herself to get covered in, and he's like, oh, so you think I won't be able to attack you from here? Well, guess what? I'll be able to crush you. So he starts squeezing her, but then...
But that was nice.
Yeah, but then she ends up basically activating Senkets to make him grow a bunch of spikes and just impales the shit out of Gamagori.
Oh, yeah.
And note that despite the fact the life fibers can kill actual people, she only damaged the costume. Gamagori didn't die in this scene or anything. She's not actually killing.
Well, she was about to die.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah,
the good old seppuku.
Yeah, so Gamagori was. Felt myself getting up there a little bit. Gamagori was like, God, I failed Lady Satsuki. I don't deserve to continue on. And he was about to, commit seppuku. But then she stops him, says, sit down by the no-stop bleachers. And that's it. And one of the main things that us and the Elite Four are thinking is knowing what kind of character Satsuki is, she should have kicked his ass out or let him kill himself. Like, why did she take pity on him when we know that she is not okay with freaking, like, deserters, losers. So, again, she ends up...
Yeah, that's when you, like, realize that there's some plan she's cooking up.
Yeah, and she ends up... Ryuko ends up going up against the computer hacker, where the computer hacker starts out that whole, well, I've been observing all your moves, so I think I'll be able to...
Don't forget the old poses.
Yeah, by, like, posing because his entire suit's made out of, like, keyboards. Fucking Ben. If only this was a video, people would see that. But, they would see, like, she's like, oh, okay, yeah, I've heard enough of your, I can guess your move bullshit. I'll just beat you by being random as hell. And she ends up, basically attacking him, hitting him, but he does say that, okay, your little camouflage thing is cool, but can you do actual camouflage? Can you do actual speed by creating a bunch of holograms of yourself and then creating and then putting yourself in camouflage? And he almost had her until she realized, hey, so we can't leave the ring. He won't risk leaving the ring. So I'm just going to make Senketsu's eye really big and just flatten him like that. And I love that whole part where he's just trying to think of ways to evade it, and it's just like invasion, impossible. And she takes him out. Then we get the other girl. Forget her name.
The other girl?
The band leader.
Nonon.
Oh, okay. Oh, what a cute name. She ends up going up.
Oh God, that fight was brutal. That fight was more brutal too.
Yeah, like it was her. Basically, her whole thing is that she's on a giant like spaceship type thing that's made out of speakers that fire these frequencies that are made specifically to kill light fibers.
Who knew that you can kill someone with Beethoven?
I know. It was actual Beethoven too. But it was like when you watch those troll videos where they bring up the audio to the point where it like wants to blow off your ears, like dun, 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 like that. That's what the kind of music she was playing. And we find out that one of the main reasons, because we did mention why the hacker followed Satsuki already, we find out one of the main reasons she's fighting her is because they were childhood friends. Like it is presumed that they knew each other when they were babies.
Oh, yeah.
And she was a person who believed she was in top of the world, and having others do things for her is, true. It is true. But Sasuke's the one that's like, oh, I don't need to be in your sandcastle. I got my sand, turned it into concrete, and then made what we see is Hinoji Academy in the making. Which was a little silly because they were like 6. But basically Nonon slaps the sand out of her hand and says, look, I will help you. I will stand by your side and I will help you reach the skies. And like stand by you on top of the world and all that. So they just walked by it, was scribbling something, and then walked away?
Yeah, probably.
We gotta find like an abandoned classroom again or something.
Yeah.
I miss those abandoned classrooms. Because at least it can get us ladders we want. But yeah, what ends up happening is she ends up basically hitting what is essentially feedback. You know what feedback is, right?
The sounds, was it?
Yeah, when like I think it has something to do when a speaker is set up the wrong way, it sets off this raw sound wave that actually is really painful to the ears.
Yeah.
So they do that, except it's really painful to life fibers. It's loud to humans, but it's painful to life fibers. So Ryuko basically calms down Senketsu, tells him to focus on a heartbeat, and she starts to conduct the music around them using the little life fibers she can use.
Yeah.
And I really like that moment because it was a moment showing like how in sync they are. Because what is weird is that if anyone complains that this show doesn't really have any romance, technically there is with Senketsu and Ryuku. Not in the kind of way you think. If you want to see that, Zone Animation made one. Oof. You've heard of that, right?
I don't know what one that is.
Zone Animation basically made a flash game where Senketsu tentacle rapes her.
Yamete kudasai.
No, stop it. What does that mean? Stop?
Stop it.
Stop
He
it.
literally said it. No, stop it.
Yeah, stop it. But yeah, that literally, that's the thing. Go look that up, people. It's terrifying. But they end up beating her. Except there was one thing they didn't account for.
An encore.
Yay!
That's like every every musical show ever.
Yeah, and it's weird because it's a thing that people cheer, but they can't control it. Because even Mako was like,
Yet Gamagori and the hacker was able to.
Probably because they were around it long enough.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Dude, I love that whole thing that as Ryuku was taking down the Elite Four members, they kept sitting down and Mako was like scared.
If anything, the one that's having the most trouble and the most hardest battle was Mako.
Yeah, which is why she had to cheer herself on. And it's like, I can't really hear what's going on from here, but it sounds like your friend is cheering herself on. And what is going on there? What is going on?
I don't know.
Anyway, well, it's almost time for us to leave anyway. Let's just finish this up. Finish up the character reveal. And then
Character reveal.
Well, you'll find out. So what ends up happening is, okay, she's gone. But again, if you were making noise, they'd knock and let us know, right?
I don't know. I mean, they usually do that.
Yeah. Anyway, she ends up basically beating the marching band people, the marching band girl. Sorry guys, we're in a quiet room right now, and we're trying to keep the volume low, which I am fairly certain we are. But we get people who are looking in here, and we get another person who works for the company coming in here and like scribbling down something on a sticky note. And we have been told to pipe down before, which is why we find it weird that they're like walking by us.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it might be paranoia, but yeah, they end up beating No. It's time for Sonic Ayama's fight, but then suddenly this little Lolita girl in a pink dress with pigtails and an eye patch runs in, talks in the most in both the dub and the sub, talks in the most stereotypical cutesy girl voice ever.
She's also voiced by Ilya from Fate.
Fate? Yeah, Ilya and Yui in Sword Art, the daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, God, that girl, man, that was one of the first things that made me realize you're not a pleasant person to be around if you're capable of tapping into your psychotic side this well. She ends up basically doing something that a lot of people didn't think was possible, and that was reaching inside Sonic Ayama's Goku uniform and like unraveling.
I think the main important fiber. The main important fiber.
Yeah, that's holding everything together.
That connects the whole thing.
Yeah, pulled it out and then caused the entire thing to explode. Kicked him off the ring, and reveals, and like is looking at Ryuku and says, "Oh hey, I like your scissor blade. I have one too." And she just flips it around, so it's like swinging it around. And at that moment, Ryuku
goes berserk.
Yeah, Ryuku goes berserk, and the audience realizes, fuck, didn't Satsuki say that if you find the other half of that scissor blade, no, the dad, that if you find that other half of the scissor blade, you'd find the murderer? That was the murderer. It was some crazy-ass little Lolita chick. Anyway, continue on, Ben. Man, no wonder I'm getting tired. I've been doing most of the talking.
Yeah, I literally can't say anything right now, but let's see. Yeah, and then they go up. Then Ryoka and the Nui
Yeah,
starts.
Nui Harame.
Yeah, then they start fighting. Well, Matoi goes berserk
Yeah.
to the point where his her
Kamui.
yeah, her
or
kamui,
Senketsu.
yeah, Senker, where her kamui eats her and becomes a demonic-like monster
Yeah.
that has no control.
Yeah, and starts fighting, and they're realizing at the same time the homeroom teacher, the leader of Nuda Speech, called in the mercenary friend again from earlier, where he gave them a
bullet that was specifically used for the toy if she ever goes berserk.
Yeah.
Well, not like that kind of berserk, but it gets worse when Nui shows up and causes Matoi to end up like that.
yeah. And basically, what they realized is happening is when Ryuko's not supposed to get too heated in these battles, or else like Senketsu will drink more blood.
Yeah,
but
he'll lose control in himself and starts eating himself.
Yeah, but Ryuko, they realize that there's something about Mako that just calms Ryuko down. So while this entire battle is going on, Mako runs in, hugs Ryuko while she's in this berserk state, and is just trying her best to calm her down. Well, in the process, Nui was going to basically chop her head off, and she stopped by Satsuki, and because she wanted to see if there was coming back from this.
Yeah.
And it does. It sends her back, and everything's okay for now. Satsuki ends up banning Nui from the campus, which doesn't keep her away for too long.
That doesn't help if she can still go to the lower parts of the campus.
No, but she posed, as we remember.
She posed as a student.
Yeah.
That got expelled.
Who is in the process of trying to get expelled.
Yeah.
Because
I still can't comprehend how she was able to delete that data.
The heads at Vivox probably.
Yeah, but that precise moment, and I'm pretty sure she did all this on her own.
And I'm pretty sure she got some help from Vivox, because the thing is, Ragyo had the sneaking suspicious that Satsuki was up to something.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe it was just a weird, creepy thing, because this character, no matter like how cute she is.
Wait, is that
That's her theme song.
Oh man, that sounds epic.
Yeah, well, remember, I'm going to bring it up once we go into final thoughts now. But this is being the music is being composed by Hiroyuki Serrano, who is the fucking dude who did the music for Attack on Titan, Fate Stay Night. No.
Unlimited Blade Works?
I think it was Unlimited Blade, but I think he did a Fate series. No, you know who
Fate
that was?
Apocrypha, Fate Extra.
No, that was Yuki Kajira. But Seraph of the End.
Seraph of the End was pretty good.
Recreators, and he's also responsible for a good
Recreators. I think really
Recreators was him.
Because I think most of the battle was from that one song by the same girl that did the opening twice.
That girl works with him.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's the girl. She did. First of all, I think that's the same girl who does the opening for Seraph at the End too.
Yeah, she did.
And
God,
she's
every opening that she's in just sounds amazing. Her music, at least.
God, I'm only gonna bring this up because it's relevant. No, it's convenient for me. But I hate how people are posting "Before My Body Is Dry." You know, "Don't Lose Your Way," without the rap.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, because this is her again too.
Really?
Yeah.
That does not sound like her. Maybe the vocal when she says "Don't lose your way," but the rhythm of her song does not sound like, because it's usually slow paced. Really? Does it actually say Suwano something and Z?
Oh no, this is definitely his music. Yeah. Because another thing too is that she follows him around. Like when they work together, they do music together. He probably did I forgot the name of the mecha anime. What show?
Do you know which one?
Oh, yeah, that was him.
Aldo
Aldo
Zero.
Zero? Yeah, that was him too. That was like my second time hearing him. Because I didn't realize he did the music until like years later for this show. But man, dude, he went, when it came to composing the series music for this, he went off, man. Every character has a theme song. Every like specific fight has music. This is Sonic Ayama's theme.
That kind of makes sense. Wait, what would be for wait, I don't think Mako had her own, right?
Seriously? You're gonna ask me that question? Of course she did.
Not to me, it was that one where she has her moment where she just
Yeah.
like curtains, headlights on towards her.
Yeah,
She
look.
just goes all berserk.
It's without the
Yeah.
hallelujah, but it's
That makes sense.
yeah, but she does have her own theme. Satsuki, of course, you know her theme is this.
Yeah, okay, I see it now.
And yeah, every character has a. It sucks that Blumenkranz isn't on the recommended list. Let me see if I can find it.
Lumencon?
That's the mom's theme.
Oh, I love the mom's theme.
Yeah, the Elite Four, all of them have theme songs, but they even have their own theme song. Yeah, there's a shit ton of.
Damn, there was a lot of music production in this one.
Yeah. That's why when it really gets down to it, when it comes to me and the show has a lot of. This show has a lot of, like, best ever for me.
Yeah.
And we'll go into final thoughts right now. If you guys want to know what the rest happens, just wait until Saturday, where me and Lewis will cover a little bit of the beginning, but I'm going to tell him we're going to put more of a focus towards the ending because.
Yeah, that ending was pretty big.
Yeah.
Sadly, I can't remember it.
Yeah, and we still have like another arc to cover. It sucks
the
we
school
didn't.
invasion arc.
Yeah, it's
No, the school raid. No, the raid
the
invasion.
school raid. Yeah, the school raid. Thank you. Yeah, like we weren't able to really get to that because we're already running out of time.
Yeah.
But we'll go into it in a little. Basically, just watch it for Ben Diskin's performance. Holy shit, he's awesome.
Best pimp, 10 out of 10.
What was the name of? Maybe if I just type in Ben Diskin? Yeah, Ben Diskin Kill a Kill. Let's see if I can find it.
The name of the pimp?
How would Takarada sell his gold?
Is that what you're looking for or what?
Yeah.
The pimp's name, right?
Yeah, Takarada.
Yeah,
Right?
Takarada.
Oh, I was actually here for this.
You know what? I want to do something different. I want to do something special for y'all, okay?
Yeah, that was me.
I just want to say,
I was there.
I'm so relieved to see that Erica Mendez made it. Because for real, Erica, for real, we were worried you were going to lose your way.
Oh god.
Oh god, that was cringy a bit.
If you guys want to if you guys want more Ben Diskin, go check out the interview we did with him. It was pretty funny. But yeah, he played that character. and what's funny about that character, it's a character that he runs his entire city, similar to Satsuki, but he runs it with money.
Yeah, he rules I think the northern part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's interesting though is he has this specific battle suit that was made to go up against life fibers, which already they're asking who gave you that suit, who allowed you to use that suit. And we know as later when the show goes on that that's the signature weapons of nudist speech.
Yeah, especially when you just have to lay in like forward, middle, but with your butt naked.
Which is why they were able to anally punish him at one point. There's anal punishment in the show. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like the final climax is like, guys, please watch this dubbed. Please just fucking watch this show dubbed.
I wanted to watch this sub since I haven't,
Yeah.
but the dub was just so good.
So fucking good. So, we'll go into final thoughts. So let's go and turn it back to Blumenkranz. Oh wow, I remembered where I was at. Anyway, yeah, so what is there to fucking say about Kill la Kill, man? Kill la Kill was
just pure random, if anything.
yeah.
Just like in one word, Like what I've noticed is it's nothing but scream.
Yeah, there's a lot of screaming, and that's the thing too. There's this like over focus when it comes to these two guys working together, that they're all about testosterone. They're all about scream louder to fight harder, because that's how like Gurren Lagann was.
Yeah.
One of the main ways Simon was powering up and Gurren Lagann was getting turned on by Yoko. And, like, it was the testosterone of being a real man that drove him to, like, keep fighting on and stuff. And it's similar to this, where they're relying on, like, clothes. They're relying on the bond between clothing, but also at the same time being comfortable with who you are.
Yeah.
This show is ridiculous in all the right ways. And the villain, all of these characters, there's not a single character, except for the name, because I am an American, that I forgot existed. Like, there's a character who becomes a villain in the OVA that, like, a lot of people seem to forget about her, which is the assistant, the black girl Ray.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the one
who's always next to Raggy, right?
Yeah, and tried to kill them in the OVA. Tried to kill everyone in the OVA.
I don't think I saw the OVA.
Yeah, the graduation.
Oh yeah, I did, huh? Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I completely forgot, man.
Yeah, and she. But I love that character. Fucking Ragyo Kyuin is. She's a woman who is obviously like mentally lost.
Yeah.
But her entire goal and what she wants to do is cool. She's literally commanding the entire show as the show starts focusing on her more. Satsuki was one of those characters that took me kind of a while to get into, because I'm like, there's so many of you fucking characters. Like, even in regular cartoons and stuff, there's so many characters like you. But then when they do that second half twist,
oh yeah,
which is just like, holy fucking shit, everything makes sense now. And I even love how they're like, wait, if you were planning this the whole time, then why did you destroy nudist beach? Pfft, they're not good enough to be my allies. But yeah, man, there's so many best for me. Best soundtrack, best villain, because for me, there has not been a villain that outdid Nui for me. There's never been a villain that scared me to the point that Nui did.
It wasn't that scary.
She fucking was. Dude.
What made her scary was that she always smiles.
Exactly. She always smiled, but she's ready to chop your head off. Hell, you even get to the part where they chop her arms off. I don't think you got to that part yet. Yeah, but there's a part where they chop her arms off, and that was the first time we actually saw her get genuinely mad.
Oh yeah,
and it was terrifying because you're not used to seeing a character like that.
I forgot how her mad looked like.
Yeah, but it's terrifying because she starts going like full psycho chick mode. But yeah, I love that character. I thought the Elite Four were like, they were some of the best like henchmen I've seen in an anime. Except for the exception of the hacker. I feel they could have done more with him. I mean, they kind of do.
I mean, he's a hacker. He's not meant to fight.
Yeah. No, not even fighting, but just like more screen time dedicated to him. Because
there isn't much to do aside like from what he's good at, like hacking.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be anything else for him to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he can like collect data, but that's it, and like increase like the modifications for the future Goku uniforms, but that's it.
Yeah. And what was I gonna say?
Oh yeah, and then you have that sewing club president.
He was really good too.
Yeah.
Actually, I forgot that he was the nephew of their butler, and the relation and the fact that Satsuki, even before the whole second act twist acts, you see that she's kind of a kind person, because the only person that ever sees her vulnerable is her manservant.
Yeah.
Who, loves her to death, has been raising her since she was a baby. But yeah, of course we just spent a little bit talking about the soundtrack, which the soundtrack is fucking incredible. Again, like the fact that this guy is still continuing to get work, and it does kind of suck that he became a meme, because when there's build-up in the songs and then suddenly it gets like really loud, people started calling that the Serrano drop, the Serrano bass drop, And now we're even getting to the point where people get mad where he's doing it in shows that don't do that. Like, people were like, how come we creators never do that? How come Surf of the End never did the bass job? It's like, because that guy doesn't always want to copy his music. Like, he wants to, you know.
I think their recent work was from a mecha anime.
His mecha one?
Was from a mecha anime. I think it was a remake anime.
I'll look that up. I know. The last thing I remember him doing was Recreators, but he also did the music for one of the Xenoblade games too. And
Xenoblade 1 or 2? Was there only 2? Oh, X?
The one for the Wii U with the mechs.
Was it the one with the waifus?
No, that's X. No, that's 2. That's the one where you play it for the plot. Yeah, that.
I heard
the one
rumors for them to be in Smash. I'm not sure.
I'd love if.
But except
Pierre,
like I think you know which girls are, right?
Yeah, Pira and the redhead.
Yeah, the red. I think there's a yellow one.
Oh, I don't know if you mean blonde, but there's like a cat girl who wears a yellow jumpsuit.
I think her and some blue one. Was there a blue one?
I don't know that one.
Well, there was 3 girls that might show up.
Oh, they don't want the characters who wield those girls. They want the actual girls themselves, the actual weapons themselves. Oh yeah, no, they. I know who you're talking about. I was actually thinking about rebuying that game because I sold it because I needed the money. It was like they were gonna give me like $40 for it, so I sold it. But I was just thinking about it today. I want to play it. But anyway, Ben, we gotta go. Final thoughts, baby.
I already said everything I said.
Really?
What else is there I can say?
Oh, okay. Well, all right. That was Ben's final thoughts.
It's amazing. 10/10.
Yeah.
God, I got to rewatch it though.
Yeah. Just finish it once we head out because I'm actually gonna have to Uber home.
You gonna Uber home?
Yeah. So we won't be able to go on the bus. I don't know.
Oh, okay, there you go. Their latest work was Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
Oh, and I haven't. Oh, that is a remake. That's an old remake.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, guys. Anyway, that was our show. Again, tune in next. We're on Saturday. I should be meeting up with Lewis, and we'll be recording not only his thoughts on the show, but also the second half of the show, which will be kind of weird for Lewis because Lewis loves leaving out spoilers.
That's true.
Yeah.
Would there be anything to spoil? I don't think so.
We still got the school. We got the full school raid, and we got the full final act.
Oh yeah, I don't think the other schools they don't get focused a lot, huh?
No.
Aside from.
No, they were only there as an excuse to take out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm Danny.
And I'm Big Ben.
And we'll see you next time. Back from the dead, baby.